dear men.
Close it.
Basile, I welcome you to my podcast series, Conversations with the Universe.
Subtitles by the
Since
Amar.org
a
community.
near-death experience, I have the gift to battle with the subtle energies of the cosmos.
To communicate. This happens in a form.
Deep meditation, in which I contemplate certain entities of the otherworldly world, communicated to me in exchange. One of the first beyond contacts to reveal itself to me was my old friend and teacher, friend of the Indians. And it is now a great pleasure for me to bring you these conversations as a complement to the books in this way.
Subtitles by the
My
Amar.org
dear friend
community.
and teacher, I didn't feel so well after the session yesterday. I was dizzy almost all day, and I have it, with nothing really managed to balance me again. As the day went on, it slowly got a bit better, and eventually, fortunately, it went away. Was this something that had to do with the session from yesterday? Or was it caused differently? Can you tell me something about it?
Yes, I can do that.
Please speak.
Subtitles by the Amar.org community.
I'm sorry that you are going through this energetic transformation. Or rather, you perceived this energetic echo. I wasn't aware that you delve so deeply into the perception of other levels and areas. If we accomplish this work, it's crucial that you regain your strength at the end of each session.
Yes. Interestingly, I tried to stabilize myself with the cosmic cross again yesterday, but it was no longer enough.
The more you recognize the problem,
What is the exact problem?
when we go into these areas and I report about you, and when I share my perception with you, it appears that you perceive the energy of each level very intensely, and perhaps even record it. Yesterday we visited the first lower level of energy absence, and you, like me, have to minimize our forces. One could not perceive these things if one is walking in their full power. As I've already explained to you, it's a very exhausting act to focus on these areas and visit them. You experienced this energetic dissonance yesterday. So from now on, at the end of each session, we'll lift you back into your original energy.
Yes, please. That wasn't very nice. So I'm ready for you to continue reporting. And I'm very excited and looking forward to how things proceed in this energetic descent.
Sylvia, become aware that by traveling these levels, your soul power is stretched. That also costs power.
You mean I expand by that? In this case, not into the higher, but into the lower frequency ranges.
Yes.
Okay. But can I take anything else with me other than the knowledge, the experience?
Subtitle of the Amar.org
An
community.
expansion is always good for the soul. It means that flexibility is increasing in it. And that's very good.
Then please start.
Very gladly. You found out yesterday how and why soul fragments detach from the actual soul force. Or better put, they can chip off. This is possible in different ways and very diverse in its nature. When these soul fragments detach, they each come with several very contaminated components. Yesterday we got to know the soul fragments, which see themselves as the exiled. Now I want to dive deeper with you into the other sensations of these soul fragments.
By diving deeper, you mean going into even deeper frequency ranges, right?
Search for it.
I'll guide you gradually in this way
Into the lifeless.
and the darkest areas of the cosmos. Lifeless here at this point, but please don't misunderstand. There is no death, if you want to call it that. Here on the subtle level, there is always only change, just like in your level. But there are the powerful and luminous levels, and then there are these in which this is less present, but as in the higher frequency ranges, different qualities of energy and energetics always prevail. That's how it is in the lower frequency ranges too. I am heading with my attention now to the next level of darkness, absence of light, love and power.
So it's actually a level of powerlessness.
That's how it
Another
is.
stage of powerlessness, right?
Correct.
Please speak.
When these soul fragments separate, they usually want to get back into the energy of perception, which they have perceived most strongly since their last incarnation. So it is a matter of perceiving one's own effect.
Your own impact? Are you sure? Please try to describe it a bit better.
When life is lived in a lot of material perception and the connection to each other in warmth and love is not perceived. Thus, individual characteristics, one might say, begin to develop that fill the soul and become a part of it. Even if this is ego-driven, it's like
It
a kind of
vomits
tint.
energy into the
This
souls.
coloring can now continue to exist in this soul fraction, or even completely fill it,
Subtitles for the Amara
depending on the size and also energy potential of this particular soul fragment. These negative feelings are part of this soul quality.
By the way, I find it really nice that you said that has nothing to do with size. So a tiny fraction of the soul can also have a lot of power and vice versa. A big one can have little strength, right?
Yes.
I find it really, really fascinating that power is not tied to size. This is again similar to matter, where the mass of the matter doesn't have to be tied to the size of the matter. But okay, that's another topic. Please continue.
Subtitles by the Amara.org
Is
community.
the information accumulated over the course of their incarnation. Contaminated perceptions are now further experienced as an integral part of the soul fragment, and there are gradations in this. And yes, the potential power has a large share in this. We are now moving on to the next stage of powerlessness and visit the soul fragments there, which were very unloving and have experienced this lack of love in themselves for a long time. And these feelings, this perception, it has become a fixed part of them. These soul fragments do not believe in love. They don't feel it. They think it's an illusion of the mind or other components. But the most important thing here is that you understand that the cosmos itself radiates pure love. So when you transition out of your body, you immediately feel this strong love energy.
Yes, I can confirm that.
Can you imagine how contaminated must a soul fragment be if it doesn't even perceive this all-encompassing and all-flowing love energy?
To be honest, I can't imagine that. Because if I swim in a sea and am carried by this water and do not perceive at the same time that I am in the sea, so the qualities of...
I don't grasp the sea at all, don't perceive
well,
it
it
at
takes
all.
quite a bit. So we are...
Now, in the plane that sticks, this
Subtitles by the Amara.org
really
community.
incredible love energy is not perceived. When I feel deeper into it, I feel a lot of cold. I feel almost hardness, seriousness, demarcation. There is
No connection with anything.
Actually, I would now think that I feel loneliness. But I don't feel loneliness, I just feel cold, hard.
Subtitles by the Amara.org
So from my perspective, to put it quite casually, boring. Love makes everything so colorful, so bright, so joyful. And what if it's not there? Then it is.
Really beautiful, almost lifeless.
Almost, darling. Almost.
They are so serious.
Hearing,
Subtitle of the Amarda.
I experience the energy fields there as very slow and almost immobile, and an incredible severity, toughness, and yes, a certain indifference to everything.
So
Subtitles
as
from
a
the Amarda
person who
community.
has these energies,
Subtitles by the
Channeled.
Amara.org community.
And therefore also feels. Do I need to start being careful not to freeze? Even though I'm really well covered with a seriously thick down duvet right now. This is really unbelievable.
You probably want to know a bit more about the nature of this area.
Yes, sure.
It's a bit darker than the dark grey we talked about last time. We are increasingly moving into real oblivion. Light remnants of light are noticeable and flicker from time to time.
Is it this flickering that we had in the upper levels too?
Yes, that's the radiance of the source, which of course can always be perceived here and there.
You know what? It reminds me a bit of a lighthouse. The lighthouse stands there and from time to time its light reaches us. And that shows you where the shore is. Transfer to this area. Because it could be another form of being.
That's a funny comparison.
Well, I'm trying to make it as tangible as possible. Please continue to describe.
If you linger in this level for a while, you lose all grip,
Marriage.
every belief in the interconnectedness in the cosmos to each other and with each other.
Oh dear. Could you make contact with one of these beings? Shards of soul?
No.
Oh, what a pity. It would be interesting to know how they are doing.
I can tell you how they're doing, love. I feel them when I'm there. You feel exactly the energy described earlier. And you firmly believe that that's just what the cosmos is in its nature. The perception of other beings. Warmth, light, confidence, power, love, consciousness. All these things are strange to them.
What actually has to happen if the soul breaks off and perceives that as its reality? So there must have been a certain very intense history. Something terrible must have happened in these souls.
That's how it is. I can't visit or even describe all these individual, let's say, fates, let alone help them. The personal responsibility lies further with these souls and also with the soul fragments.
Yes, but if it's just a fragment of the soul, then it generally has less power. He is still polluted and sad in this power. Therefore, it inherently carries less power, hence less consciousness. How is this fragment of the soul supposed to first become aware of itself? Then, subtitles by Stephanie Geiges, feeling a pulse that she wants to find her soul. That is her home again, to become whole again, and also to have the strength to ask for help. These are three almost impossible components.
Yes, I know. You really name a very complex topic.
Or rather, a problem.
And dear friend, have you ever experienced such a soul fragment energy somehow making it?
No, because I would have to stay there longer. But I also get cold after a longer time. Or let's say, after longer moments. I go there to study, but not to stay there.
But I actually perceive the universe as something very fair and logical. I know. This is very judgmental now, but I feel this way. The cosmos offers all living beings, always giving the opportunity to grow to all forms of energy. And I really wonder, where is this pardon? Have you ever asked yourself, Can confused fragments of soul be given the tools and opportunities to grow?
Yes,
Enough?
I have learned and also experienced that the beings of the cosmos are always available,
And checking Stitch.
but they must be called.
Yes, you see.
Even here in this place, let's better say in this area. It is not possible for foreign energies to intervene without being asked. This is the primal issue,
Tubes.
and a cosmic law also applies here.
But if they don't have strength, how are they supposed to ask for help?
Subtitles by the Amara.org
Okay.
community.
I'm pretty sure there is another way.
No.
No love, it's this tool. There is no other tool. The tool of becoming aware of one's own problems and soul quality. And then the tool of asking.
Subtitles from the
But you
Amara.org
said
community.
you will explain to me in another chapter how these soul shards can possibly find their way back to their souls.
Yes. But they are interconnected. Because for that too you have to ask.
True. Friends, Indians, it is cold. I perceive the color blue, dark blue, a kind of night blue. Some of them are really without any light. How can one describe it? Like dark clouds. Dark little clouds. Although clouds are still nice in their shape. These ones are actually strange in their shapes. So undefined. Yes, fields. Energy fields, you know. And it's incredibly quiet. Absolutely quiet. Man, I need to start being careful not to start feeling sick.
I, as men,
Human as a soul, carrying love within, dear Gerard. Really sad. I feel so sorry for them. How do you deal with such a thing?
Yes, I know.
Do you know
that.
it too?
When this mercy fills me, I try to radiate it. You could do that now too. Just radiate it into this level. But be aware that you are losing energy.
Yes, it's no problem. I'm happy to do it. But do they even notice it?
Yes, they will perceive it as a warm memory, or a light, or just some impulse. Trust.
Cookie. I am sending a big wave of love, light, and understanding to you. And I wrap in it a call, an impulse. Information goes into my energy. This information prompts them to start their journey in their homeland to their true souls. Come home, I say. Come home. Like a warm carpet, I spread this energy over this area and radiate as much love, understanding, and mercy as I can. I wish you a lot of fun next time. Bye. Subtitles by the Amara.org community. They are also very unconscious, aren't they?
Jetzt.
Sure, because they have so little strength.
Yes.
My radiation is starting to pulsate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now my impulses are getting weaker, always weaker. And now it's not possible anymore. Thanks. Love.
That's it for today. See you next time. Bye.
What I'm just reading upon. By the way, describes about 5, nearly 10 minutes of energetic work. Just briefly noted here. But let's continue. What do I need to do now?
We're going to slowly move out of the planes now. It's important for you to know that such impulses definitely work in the cosmos. Every individual is noticed and no energy is wasted. Even these impulses of yours will now show effect in this area.
Yes, hopefully.
See you next
So that was the
time.
level of... Yes, what do we call them now?
The level of lost love.
Okay, good. What do I need to do now?
Gather yourself and focus. Come to yourself. Be all you. Completely.
Yes.
And now let's go back to the higher frequency ranges with our attention and our energy. Here it is warm, powerful, full of light, joyful,
and alive.
everything lives, everything pulses, everything grows.
Subtitles by
Oh,
Stephanie Geiges.
yes. And this is a
Further,
movie.
my goodness, so far.
And rejoice, isn't it?
Wow, yes.
Subtitles by the Amaro.
Thank you, dear
community.
friend of the Indians. Would you like to say something else?
Subtitles from the Amaro.org.
Then I thank you very much for this once again very impressive session. Many, many thanks. Love.
Thank you, Sylvia. Love.